No Potions, a online RPG, browser-based, though you can also get it through mobile devices to play. What is it? It is a fun RPG that you can go ahead and play with a AI narrator. This gives you the ability to die. I have had a lot of fun playing this game. No Potions is a very engaging game. Being a forever DM myself, I really enjoy and can appreciate storytelling, and that's a lot of what this is. So if you know that more long payoff type games, if you don't have the patience for that, this isn't for you. If you're more D&D or tabletop minded and really enjoy role play, this is really for you, I would say. So this is a character I recently died, my first playthrough, if you will, if you can call it that. It all took place in one day. Very focused in charisma. I haven't looked at Reminisce. Let me see if I can see this. Yes, Death claimed me. I can scroll back. There is an alpha, so there's not all full feature set you'd expect from a full-fledged game. Like, I expect some sort of way to be able to scroll all the way back up, but there's not a good way to do that. But what you see here is the main storytelling that takes place. And my, let's say, idealistic character was taken in, trusted a goblin, and yet he betrayed me, if you would believe it. And some of his last words included saying too much heart. And in that betrayal, I end up dying. So, but nonetheless, lots and lots of fun. And so I wanted to be able to share my experience going into a new game, new character. I do have the option to revive. Right now, it is just early access. I just got it this week. For reference, the way it works is it goes off of a credit plan. It does have a free option to do, but you're just limited in terms of the number of dialogues that you can have. But there's a lot to show you, and so I just am trying to get back to the main screen because there is options to have multiple characters. So I'm going to go to character selection, and instead of reminiscing, I'm going to do a new character here. Let's show you what this looks like. So I did Rogue before. Again, this is early access, so a bunch of these are coming soon. Again, I did Rogue last time, so I'm going to do Warrior this time. If you've played any sort of RPG type game, or even non-RPG type game, you have a lot of these different type of combat styles, so not much to say about that here. But you do end up having a lot of different options that you can choose. Your class has a couple ingrained skills, athletics, endurance here for this warrior. And what would be good? In this case, the last time I had a character who was all about the talking. I think this time I'm going to go quite the other way and be more... let's just go with the classic intimidation route. Go very focused on strength, threats, and fear. No, maybe not threats and fear. No, that's fine. That's fine. We'll try that. It's me as a person. That's very much not me. So that will be difficult for me to do. Let's see. I did a half elf last time. So what if I go dwarf? Heritage. Increases my constitution, some wisdom. That's always nice. And go this route. So I'll just quickly go through and If I'm going to be more of a, let's say, barbarian-esque type build, I think I'll go for a Thraldrim. Sounds good. Yes, it is high fantasy, so good to know. And keep in mind, this is your dungeon master of sorts is going to be AI. So it's built off of this idea of high fantasy. I only noticed that a small bit. I tried my best in my playthrough, if you can call it that, with my other character as mostly in character. However, there was a time or two where I was like, wait a second, is this like this real world thing? And like this type machine, is this world? And I even referenced world. And so an NPC had a hard time processing what I was saying, which is appropriate considering the NPC wouldn't know. So taking fourth wall elements like that won't go over super well. But let's see, what kind of story do you want? I want a story related to my character overcoming their inner fears. I am quite physically strong, but cautious in talking to others, slow to trust, and of little words. There, do that. So strength is what my character's best at. I really do like going with a min-max type build. So let's see. I'm really not planning to dodge much, so I'll let that be my dump stat. So I'll go strength there. And aside from that, is there a way to get this one up a little bit more? Is there anything else I want to dump down? This is already oh, that's fun. That's fun. I do enjoy being able to do things like this, go a bit extreme. Okay, that seems fun. All right. And I am more of a neutral good type character. Last time I was more chaotic good, and it showed. Let's see, godless. You don't get a ton of information on the different religions. There's what's down here, but you don't really get like a past of like, okay, like where did these gods come from? Memory, renewal, patience, Carnage Storm, Death Passage, Omen, Forged Labor, Temper, Vine. Yeah, it doesn't seem like any of these are particularly what my character is going for, so I think I'll go with Godless here. Now, as you notice, a lot of these are coming soon. So again, you have to pick this region. Now, previously used Diplomatic Intrigue. That was super interesting to me. That was a lot of fun to be able to do. But instead, this time, I'm a lot more about the physical. And more of a lone wolf here. Now, this is a bit difficult. For my character, really more of a humble sort of person, so not really trying to do a lot of these different things. So Thraldrim, what do you want here? Throldrim. Dwarf parents embody traditional customs and heritage. Tirith taught me true strength, unwavering faith, righteous conviction, moral discipline, bonds, lone wolf, to true freedom. Oh, there is Ion, living god. Oh, interesting. So my background already had... You don't have to... Oh, it put it here. That's strange. I thought I made it godless. There we go. Yep. Lost in peace. It's fine. All right. So I used the Golden Barrel Tavern start last time, and I still died in the first day. Granted, keep in mind, one day, that was over the course of like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 real-time hours. Of course, it's not like you just keep clicking and going. You're just like going there reading. It's like a tabletop game. Again, you're interacting with the NPCs. You're exploring around on a map. You'll see. So let's get started. Also, I don't know why it's called No Potions yet. I did notice in inventory options that it's possible to have potions, I believe. So, yeah. Don't know where the name comes from. See, even here it says, talking about health potions. Pretty no way meta. Now, I will say I have not experienced this before. Take it so long to load.
Welcome. The 13th hour is at hand. These gods bicker like children, their fires fed by a truth they cannot see. They crown themselves kings of ash, blind to the rot beneath their golden feet. And when the veil thins, friend, you will hear it. The absence, it is terrifying. It is beautiful. It is awake.
Now that was the same intro I had in my first character, so I wasn't sure if there was different ones. There's a lot going on here. Definitely a lot of world building has been built. And so I can appreciate that. Even as soon as I started feeling like I was getting an idea of what was going on in the world I was in, I realized I was like, oh, I'm just scratching the surface of what's here.
The stone of Tirith feels warm beneath your palms. You stand in the forge, the scent of hot iron and charcoal filling your lungs. Your old mentor speaks of the discipline of the blade, his voice a steady rumble. You feel the weight of a hammer in your grip, the balance perfect and true. Everything is solid, everything is right, the voice stops mid-sentence. The silence that replaces it has a heavy texture. You wait for the rest of the word, but it never comes. A shadow under a workbench vanishes, though the bench remains. The smell of wood smoke thins and disappears. A face you know stays in view, but the spark behind the eyes withdraws. The world is emptying. The bleeding absence is a place where the room stops. No light enters it. No edges exist, only the memory of where a wall should be. You look at it, and that is the mistake. Something vast on the other side feels your gaze. As you look, the world behind you ceases to exist. You were never the dreamer. You were the thing being dreamed, and the dreamer is opening its eyes. A weight settles in your chest. All will be unmade. The room is smaller. You did not see it shrink. Things stop the way a word stops halfway through being said. There is less space behind you than there was a moment ago. You must wake up. Your hands know this before your mind does. The knowing will not save you. The wound grows.
So then here we are. The game provides you different options. Now, in the free version that I have, usually I type out exactly what I try to do. But it's my understanding you can have a paid version where it can provide you pre-options, which I guess the intro just goes ahead and does for you. But there's a lot to show you here. There's a map that will unlock here in a bit. But this intro is different for this character, which is nice. So it takes all your background pieces into consideration. Now, what would Throldrim do here? Ooh, Pain is real. Trust my endurance. Most likely. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what he would do. It is a D20 system, like D&D. It does have critical hits. In my first character, I never rolled a 1, fortunately. So I don't know about critical failures. Now we do see a map. And yes, it is the same map you start in. So it does not change that. I'll be curious to see if it's the same exact story. Probably. But it can definitely play out in many different ways. Now, what seems to have fixed, though, when I was playing before, it actually did show characters on here, which seemed odd to me. I'd be able to see characters all the way over here. Though, it's also interesting that it says hidden holding pen, goblin raider staging. Something tells me I shouldn't know right away just looking at a map. They're like, oh, hey, there's something hidden here. So that's something, if I had feedback, I'd probably give that feedback of like, maybe you don't see everything right away. Maybe it's like a fog of war situation or something similar to that. Might make more sense. What is pretty cool is I can see where I am now. Now I came out of that dream state. There's this tavern I can see of the location here. And I can tell the different characters. If I click here, I can talk to them directly or address them in some way, which is, I think, really cool. Zoom out more. You can look from the point of interest to the general location, which is the Totem Village, and then the larger location of the hinterlands. So back to here. Fortunately, I did succeed. There are lots of feats. It's not just a ripoff of D&D, even though it has tons of influences. A lot of these feats are unique to this game, so it's pretty cool how it does it. Now choose feat. Unbowed, years of hardship, toughen you. So you can look in here for more information. I like how it clearly identifies what conditions the different feats fall under. So this is just straight health. Here, there's also resistances across the board. Pack mule, carrying capacity, always active. So, considering that either of these two will make more sense to me, probably just going to go straight for the health because you start with a relatively smaller number. Let's see, 13. Well, my other character actually had 6, so 13 is materially more. So do I even just want 3? I think in that case, since I have 13, I'll just go with the resistance. But the features that you can get, there's the class features as a warrior, but then there's the skills related features. And this is Skyrim-esque in that the more you use a given skill, the more proficient you can become in it. Each of these have their own respective experience points that you can earn, which I really like. So the more I use persuasion, for example, in my other run, because even just a day, I think I got to almost level 4. I got through level 3 and then almost hit level 4. Where you can get more and more powerful. Oh, this is very interesting. The persuasion options features are different for the warrior than they are for the warrior versus the thief. So I really like that, how different the features can be. And look how many different skills there are. And there's that many features as well, which is really cool. So let me put those aside, be immersive. As we noted, we left the astral plane, so place of dreams, to more material. It is interesting. Sometimes the narration auto plays and sometimes it does not. And sometimes the music plays and sometimes it does not. It's not clear to me what triggers. My music is at 0 right now. So that's why there. But even when it's on, it doesn't always go off. Lower that down. Just so I can speak and hear myself, and this can be heard more easily since I'm speaking relatively quietly currently. So we do land in this tavern, and this is the same character here that I'd first met. So as you can see here, I won't read it all for you. You can certainly play and you can experience this for yourself, but just realize that you can then get an introduction to the various characters. And then, like it says down here, you can choose options, pre-made options, if you have Primo or Max, versus the free option. You can just type in whatever it is that we want, which really, in this case, I think it would be kind of funny if I decide to just stand up and leave the tavern. So, Thraldrum, he just came up from a strange dream. Now that there's this strange person talking to me, I'm just like, okay, I want to get up and go. And this is where the magic can happen. Instead of having a game master or dungeon master to tell you what happens, instead you have an AI doing that for you here. So it's writing, which I have done this before with ChatGPT and other type of AI tools. I've tried to have adventures with it, if you will, but it doesn't always work out that well. Usually its context window tends to leak out, so it does not remember things very well. I will say NOPOTIONS has done really well in that regard. I don't know if they're saving the memories like more efficiently, something to that effect, with per location or per character, or how that's being done. But I will say it's been very effective. I am curious how well that holds over the longer a game goes, because the longer it goes from its initial state of like, hey, this is all the NPCs and how they act. And like, particularly my last run, I really pushed it to its limit in terms of like, oh, hey, I'm going to try to befriend everyone. Like, I did not fight anyone in my last run. In my last character, I would just befriend them. My party ended up with like 4 different characters that would normally be not my allies. Now, it says 0 to 4. Usually if you have a party, it would include yourself. So you normally only have 3 others, but you can also have those who accompany you in your party. And I will say, when I made the comment, or not comment, when I just stood up and left and made this entry, that's when it uses a credit. And so it's running down my credit from, it was 27 and now it's 26. Now keep in mind, this is how much I did things. I had, trying to remember, I had like 50, I think I've used about 100 credits so far. I got like 20 more from a survey. There's a couple surveys I did to get more credits. I started with 50, I think. So they've done about 100 credits worth, so about 100 different prompts in here. And it's been a lot of fun. So I say what it's going to happen, and then it tells me where I move to. So if I go back here and look at the map, I can see that now my point of interest is now the Totem Village path instead of inside of the tavern. And you get additional descriptions here. And then, so let me just I'm trying to see if there's anything else interesting to tell you about this, but really it's just anything that you can think of. So, go to a vendor to buy some food. Or actually, let me roleplay here a little bit. So, a few paces away, Hugh stands by the side of the road, wear a bright trousers hat, weather face, worn at red edge, catches the light, rising sun. Adjusting tool on his belt, grazing towards the eastern edge of the village, grow my light side. I walk over to Hugh to see if he has any food. My character doesn't talk very much, so you just want to see if he has food. Except I probably should turn around and go back in the tavern for that. But just, this roleplay, right? You just kind of go and just do whatever you want. That's what's kind of fun about the game, is I just want to do silly things. Oh, and then I think to wrap up, I'll see what Hugh has to say, but then I want to see if there's an opportunity to use a skill, and I think that will be a good way to wrap this demonstration up. As you see, there's an overall narration of what you're seeing, and then there's more individual narration as well. Now, Hugh here is being very generous and just handing over his travel rations. However, just to make sure everything is kosher or up to snuff here, let's see if I can run an insight check and see what happens. Obviously, not the best choice for mine, since I've got -1, since I've got a debuff currently from Lingering Gaze. However, let's see how this goes. So, insight. I do take the rations, but before eating, I check to see if Hugh has any alternative motives, which I think this will be a kind of unfortunate situation for Throldren, because I feel like he's going to want to do insight quite a bit, and he has wisdom -1 for now, and then when this wears off in a few in-game hour time, then it'll just be neutral. So not that great, but I'm not always about min-maxing. It can be sometimes just about the roleplay. This is really cool. You can see what items you can receive or give, and it shows up into your inventory over here. So I think that's a really cool sort of setup, and you can tell when it's continuing to think down here. And here you go. Insight standard roll is just 1 die. If you have advantage, there are feat I use with my other character to have advantage. I don't know if there's disadvantage in this game. I imagine there is. And I'm lucky enough. Even with -1, I did pass. Let's see. Travel rations. I could just change an tired face. No hidden edge to his kindness. So yeah, there you go. No potions. I know this is just a kind of a slow burn of a video, but yeah, I didn't see anything out there on the internet about it on the YouTubes, so wanted to throw this out there just for anyone interested in it, since it's, I believe, in a closed alpha state currently. But yeah, wanted to let people know about it, and because I'm just very interested in this type of game, which I know it's not everyone's taste, but yeah, just hopefully we get to see this succeed, and yeah, wish the best of luck to them and to everyone else out there. Take care.